My name is Kojo Anane. I work with People's Dialogue on Human Settlements, an NGO which work to empower local communities, offer them strategic support and professional support to help them improve their livelihoods. We predominantly work with slums and squatter settlements. A lot of challenges are there. People are classified as informal. People are classified as those who live in slum. They don't have the right to live there. Certain time, there are certain communities that are informal, let me call it, and then because they are even squatters and they are slum, they are not even recognized. No services that go about. So sometimes when you are speaking for them even, they will say, you are causing the mess. And I know Ulfadama, which is predominantly the largest slum in Accra, I mean, the force that it goes and people speak. Even for me, the director then, even a guy, people saw him as a stranger who is coming to take the lands of the guards. So all these things are challenges, and the level of education and the level of deprivation, and then trying to work to these people, organize them, and even giving them voice in itself is a whole lot of challenge. We work with the squatter settlements. I mean, they don't have title. So, and Ulfadama is a slum, but squatter. And we have the embedded ones that you see packets of slum like Sabonzongo, I mean, the Nima. Then we have the unembedded. I mean, basically you see slums springing up even in East Legon, Jewolu, where you see that certainly, I mean, if you want to even classify the UN definition for slum, and definitely you run a lot of houses or areas in Accra as slum, because what does it talk about? I mean, adequate housing, how many people live there, provision of drains, and if you want to go there, then you run a lot of places. So certainly we have a slum, squatter settlement, then we have those which are also embedded and unembedded. That is how you can just give the distinctions. Certainly, to some extent, yes, they see. Sometimes, normally, if I even speak and I speak for Ulfadama, they will say, no, yes, many a time we have tried to talk with authority to get us even skip containers. But the fact that for me, quote and unquote, if you provide such services, you are legitimizing their stay. So sometimes, even though they say they pay proper rates, basic rates, like the KIA, pay money to the revenue collectors. Yes, still, when it comes to collecting of money, I mean, it's not informal, but when it's time to provide services, they are informal, or they are squatter, or they are slum. People's Dialogue work with people who live in slums and squatter settlements. It's not been easy working with them, but we believe that people who live in slum also have a voice, they have a say. So all we sought to do is to let them bring their expertise to bear, because we have productive uses. Like it is said, the informal holds the formal, because majority of the informal, they works to hold the formal. So basically, we give them voice, power, we organize them. When you look at People's Dialogue that works affiliated with Slum Dwellers International, who believes the people's process, who believe that the poor should be at the forefront of their development. Even though they are poor, we teach them the habit of saving, coming together. So some of the rituals that we do is you collect savings. And collecting savings, it means you are collecting people, because you are taking money from the people. So collecting savings means collecting people and collecting problems as well. What are the issues that pertain? That for the past 2003 till date, that is how we have worked, organizing the poor people into savings groups, into federations, and letting them know that together, when they come together, they'll be able to let their voice. So we have given them voice, we have given them recognition. And I must say that throughout the history of this country, as far as UN Habitat, World Habitat Day celebration, they have been part and parcel of the celebration. Without the slum dwellers or the community, the celebration is not. And this is how People's Dialogue has worked with Ghana Federation of the Urban Poor, popularly known as GAFUP, to make their voices heard. And I mean, we can't even go. If you look at even the slum upgrading facility under the UN Habitat, of which Ghana is an implementing country, we have organized the slum dwellers in Ashama, and we have the pilot project in there, which is housing 31 families. I mean, from ground plus 2. And this one is a mixed cross subsidy to help the urban poor manage their home. This model works as far as where community savings works perfectly. So communities are engaged in savings. They are engaged in meetings. They are engaged in exchange, trying to peer-to-peer learning, both local and international, which SDR supports. So this particular project is a collaboration between People's Dialogue, the community, the Ghana Federation of the Urban Poor, the city authorities, the traditional authorities. Predominantly they are the landowners. So there was even an exchange of which the chief or the landowner was part that went to India to see the way communities have also collaborated with city authorities, and they have upgraded their community. And I tell you, this is how it began. So the 31 families that are in there, you know, if you look at the numbers of the federation, there are so many, but this was just a pilot to make it more affordable. So the selection criteria, you should have been a member of the savings group, you should have been attending meetings, you should have been saving. You know, this is just to inculcate the habit of saving. So those that were selected among the lot, at least before you had entered the house, should have had like 1,000 Ghana cedis in your savings. And so they also have another saving that they call Urban Poor Fund Savings that help them to draw money from the Urban Poor Fund International to support them. So they got like 1,500 Ghana cedis from it. At the time that they were going to enter, the cost of the single room that we're going to occupy was 6,500 Ghana cedis. But the market value at the time was about 10,000. You know, and they already have 1,000 in their savings, and they had support from the Urban Poor Fund of 1,500. So instead of them even going to the market for a loan at the commercial interest rate for the whole 6,500, they already have 1,000 and 2,500. So they had to just go for 4,000. And so the TAMSUF, which is Tema Ashama Metropolitan Slum Upgrading Fund, that was set up by the UN Habitat, SUF. So use the fund that was in for the project to leverage or to negotiate at a better interest rate for the urban poor. So if you look at the whole structure, it's a ground floor plus 2. The ground has commercial units, and even we have a communal toilet all in an attempt to make it more affordable, because if all this had not come into play, so this is just the financing plan that was used to help it's become affordable for the urban poor. And for all you know now, members or beneficiaries are paying 75 Ghana cedis every month to pay off within 8-10 years, which is, I mean, it's just unique in trying to see the power of community savings. You start as individuals or small group, then regional, national, then international, so that together, because the poor feel that they are the challenge as far as the slum situations in the country are concerned, but they can also provide solutions by working together. People's Dialogue, that has been working with informal settlements, communities in Accra, with a wide range of experience. So we also had a stint with Rockefeller, who are sponsoring this particular project. So through that, ACET got us involved. And I thought that because we also have the community touch and we have constituencies, the vast experience made us to be able to bring people from all the communities or slum communities that fall within the Accra area. So our involvement was to get people who are in the informal sector, traders, settlers, you know, selecting them from a wide range of community, the Gamashi, Accra proper, the Nima, the Mamobi, the Fadama, the Ojolu. I mean, there is a part of the unembedded slum areas, bringing all these people, looking at women, youths, and bringing them together for them to have first hand to share what they are going through in their communities and how they hope to see Accra to be. So I think that our participation or being part of this particular process is a good one, and we know that we have worked so very well within ACET, who have done the academic work, and we have also brought the community touch to it. So for me, if you tell me, I tell you it's a success, and we hope that it will continue. So for me, and looking at the ICD project, at least it brought about wide range of people. I mean, the caliber of the people that are brought and brought them together with those in the formal sector and the exchanges. And everybody had idea and inputs. And, you know, I realized that at the workshop, you know, you hear people want the local persons, I mean, like the forces and the drivers. You realize them saying that power should be with the local persons. And it came to a point people are looking at even the taxes the informal are even paying. What is it being used for? So I think that it was a good thing, and per the vision and the hopes people had was that they want to see Accra that will be without the traffic congestion, Accra that is going to be without slums, Accra that there will be law and order, everything working, a complete modernization of the city, beautification. You know, and what interests me most was bringing the informal settlers, bringing the informal traders, and bringing those who were in the creative arts system. I mean, and they kept talking about how the country, or Accra, how Accra for that matter, to be beautified. I mean, the green Accra, slum upgrading, you know, a city without waste not being carried for a while. They want to see Accra of streets. So they had real ambition, and all these things will come to birth when both are playing. The formal and informal are working in partnership or in concert to see all these things happen. And, you know, one of the slogans was that city agents of change, you know, city changes, agents of change. And so the poor or those who are in the informal sector want to see themselves as partners of development.